Hi, I'm here. I was shoving sushi in my mouth and I had to wash it down with water and the sushi kept sticking to each other. So I had to like pry it apart with my chopsticks. I felt like and then it started falling apart and it was one of the messiest sushi eating experiences I've had in a long time. Hi Indy, you sound sleepy today. That's my secret cap. I'm always sleepy. But also I woke up like 30 minutes before stream, so that also. It tasted yummy. The sushi tasted pretty yummy. It was a mess. It was a hot mess. My roommate basically, he ordered sushi and it's like, yeah, I got a huge sushi platter and I can't finish it. You want the rest? And I was like, this is a tough task that you're giving me, but I think I'm strong enough to take it on for you. I will carry your burdens for you. And then I ate the rest of the sushi. Like the hero I am, yeah. I'm just a very thoughtful and considerate person. That's why that's why I ate the sushi for him. And for no other reason other than my caring and thoughtful nature. Yeah, you can all tell me what a brave hero I am in chat. I'll allow it. Also, let's see who all is here. Hi, Jacob on YouTube. Let's see who took my first today. Leonix, thank you so much for taking my first today. It makes me very happy that you could be my first today. Then we got Daily Pillows, we've got Ren, we've got Set, we've got Hefty, we got Fi, we've got Alex, we've got Nortania, we've got Osso. We've got Jeremy, we've got Brad. Also, Nortania, thank you for the 30 months. Holy shit. Thank you. That's very sweet of you. And then we've got, let's see who we got for the tarot readings. So first up in the queue for readings is Alex with the love reading. Then we've got Leonix with a I don't know yet reading. You just said I don't know what I want yet. And we got Spicy Palm with a heart emoji reading. Does that mean you want a love reading or are you just reserving your spot? That's it. That's all we've got in the queue so far. So if you guys want to snag a reading, there's still several spots left. Well, let's do this. Well, let me sip my water real quick. Okay, now let's do this. We'll start with Alex's love reading. I kind of want to, but I just got one last week. That's okay. There's people who get one every week. If you really want to, why not, you know? Yeah, there are people who get a reading like every single week, so don't stress if you happen to want one this week. Oh my god, you're summoning more Shimidins. Look at them go. Look at them go, the little fellas. Also, I'm going to talk about it on here on my stream. If you guys haven't watched the latest ASMR roleplay video on my YouTube, it'd be really cool if you did, because I'm very proud of it, and I feel like it's kind of flopped on YouTube, which is such a shame because I think it's really cute. It's the Demon Lord ex-hero, you know, sort of like initial bantering. You're sent off on a mission to kill the Demon Lord, which is me. I'm the Demon Lord. Can you do it? And it's very cute. It's a very cute one. And I worked on the script and I worked on the art, and then YouTube said, and then shit on it. I'm like, no, I like this one, damn it. You would in a different way? You're gonna kill me in a different way? You can never kill you. Thank you, Jacob. It's okay. You don't in the ASMR either. You also don't kill me in there. I don't want to spoil it, but I think it's very cute what happens. So if you haven't listened to it, it'd be really fucking sick as hell if you did. And if you did listen to it and you liked it, it'd be really cool if you liked and commented on the video, because that also helps. Summon more gremlins. Oh my god, they're invading the screen. Yeah, I already have ideas. I have like my whole list of like ideas for the next ASMR RPs. Sorry for being annoying. You're never annoying, Jeremy. You're never annoying. Just wanted to say that we appreciate you. I appreciate you guys too. Thank you, Jeremy. And you're never annoying. I always appreciate you. You're always very sweet and very encouraging. I'm back. Welcome back. Had to take a call. Oh my god. Everything good? I hope you're all safe. I hope everything's daijoubu. That's the first thing you said today. What makes you I know. Jeremy can never be annoying, dude. Jeremy's always such a sweetheart. All of the words of encouragement. BRB gonna watch the video. Yeah. I worked hard on it. And I thought it was so much fun. And I was like, Demon Lord Dare, this is your chance to see Demon Lord Dare in action. Yeah, I've just got like a lot of ideas for things. So I've been trying to just write them down so I don't forget about them, so I can eventually work on them. I've been crushing through all of my commission queue, so I've just been working on art for other people lately. But once I blow through my queue, make sure I have enough for rent, then I'll be able to work more on on my personal projects. First priority is paying rent. I feel like I need one of those YouTube chiropractors to get my spine stretched out. What, you're gonna dislocate your head from your shoulders, bro. Don't trust any chiropractor, much less a YouTube one. Oh my god. Dude, they scare me. I'm sorry, I could never go to a chiropractor. I'm scared they're gonna fucking accidentally snap my neck. Just straight up fucking kill me, dude. What if they're certified? Chiropractics is a very gray area of physical therapy. A lot of people who go into get chiropractic end up getting hurt long term from a botched chiropractic session, even if they are certified. It's just very easy to fuck it up. It's not worth it. See, I'm the kind of person where if they do kill me, at least I won't be in pain anymore. That's not the way you should be framing that mindset, I don't think. I don't think that's gonna be conducive to a healthy lifestyle if that's how you go about living. Also, hi Jenny, welcome in, welcome in. And yes, you're in the queue, Jenny. Turn me into Batman? I don't think Batman went to a chiropractic session to become Batman. I think he just had to, like, watch his parents die in front of him. Which is, you know, a little different. So, I mean, how's your mom and dad, Alex? Help me, but I wouldn't recommend it since you don't know what they'll do. Yeah, it's a very hit or miss kind of treatment option for a lot of people. For some people it hits, but also there's other people where it misses, and in a very bad way. So that's why I just tend to steer clear of it altogether. Maybe just get like a deep tissue massage, you know? Let's see what we got for you. Damn, bro. That's crazy. That's a crazy reading to start off with. Alright. Whew. Alright, let's put these up on the screen. For your love reading, Alex. I mean, I guess you could go into like amateur wrestling if you wanted to, and they'd probably do that for you. But also a lot of amateur wrestlers come out with like long-term injuries afterwards. You have to learn how to like tank the hip properly. And then the last card. My throat is still waking up, dude. That's crazy. Okay. Alrighty. We got all of the cards for you, Alex, for your love reading. So in order of left to right, we have the Ten of Swords. We have the reverse Ten of Cups. And we have the reverse King of Coins. So let's go ahead and start with the Ten of Swords. The Ten of Swords is not a fun one to start with. The Ten of Swords is a card of misfortune, pain, misery, loss, anguish, despair. You're being stabbed in the back by 10 swords, bro. It's not a good time. It's not Gucci. We do follow it up with the reverse 10 of Cups, which is a card of like, normally the 10 of Cups is a card of like daydreams, happy fantasies, pipe dreams. In its reverse, it's like a, you gotta detach from this situation. This isn't working for you. I don't know who you're trying to maybe flirt with or get together with. It's not working. It's not. Sometimes you just gotta, take a step back from either like a person or a situation. Take a step back, take a breather, maybe reassess the situation from an outside perspective. Feels like you're very locked in on something that maybe isn't beneficial for you to be locked in on at the moment. And that feels especially sort of tied together as well with this reverse King of Coins, which is this sense of like, while the King of Coins is normally somebody that provides stability and like security, in its reverse, it's somebody who's very stubborn, somebody who's very obsessed with trying to accumulate success, and somebody who kind of just needs to just see what they already have, and pause and enjoy the things you already have. I think these cards are outdated. What the hell? I already done quit. Maybe you should just take a break from trying to actively seek love, I feel like you're very in active pursuits of trying to find love in general. And to me, this feels like the cards are like, maybe just don't stress about trying to find anybody right now. Just kind of live your life and let love come to you, right? Rather than actively trying to seek it out. And then once it comes to you, then you can kind of pursue it a little further. I quit a couple days ago. Okay. Well, maybe it's just reaffirming, like maybe that's the best decision, is to just let it go, let it breathe, Sometimes the best thing you can do is just let things happen as they happen. You can't really force things to work how you want, Also, hi, Dr. Fumble. Welcome in. I think that is kind of for the best, though. Just rather than trying to force things to happen, trying to make things happen for yourself, just see where life takes you. And I think you'll find that you'll enjoy the journey a lot more when you're not actively looking to fill in a quote-unquote void in your heart, right? When you just let things happen as they happen. and then, you know, you enjoy the other aspects of your life. But yeah, just take it easy. It's trying to roast me when I already done did that. Well, you gotta let life cook a little bit more, you know. It's not finished cooking. You just gotta let it cook. Don't rush it. Okay. Next up on the queue is Leonix. Are you here, Leonix? It me, hi. And what kind of reading do you want, Leonix? Back, very nice video. Welcome back, Brad. I'm glad you liked the video. Let's have a general reading. Okay. I got you. And you want the Oracle card as well, since you're subbed? Oh my god, my hands are freezing. I'm gonna turn on my little space heater. My fingertips. They're so chilly willy. Yes, please. Okay. Oh, so much better. I can feel my fingertips again. That's the good shit. I love when I can feel my hands. One of my favorite things to do is feeling my extremities. Just a little hobby I've picked up. So a general reading for Leonix. Hi, Johnny. Yeah, we're working through the queue. We haven't gotten to you yet. Don't worry, I'll call for you when we get to you, Johnny. Okay. And now let's grab your oracle card. Just woke up, 10:30 a.m. Let's go. Yeah, you and I I think you and I wake up at the same time, but like I also woke up like an hour ago. Also, Bitter Night, thank you so much for the follow. Welcome in. Yeah, I also woke up an hour ago, but for me it was like 10:30 p.m. that I woke up. Yeah. I'm very nocturnal. I sleep during the day and I work at night like a vampire. Oh my god, speaking of vampires though, oh my gosh. I was feeling down a couple of days ago. I was feeling a little depresso. And how does Harper cheer me up? They're like, Do you want to watch Twilight? Will watching Twilight cheer you up? It did. I love bad movies. Watching Twilight and making fun of Twilight did in fact cheer me up. They know me so well. And while they were playing it, they're like, I can't believe you're forcing me to watch Twilight with you. Like, you're the one that picked the movie. You're the one that asked first. It was very sweet of them. I haven't even done the reading for you yet, Bitter Night, but if you and this Jeremy person are broken up and you're waiting to see if they'll take you back, you should just go with somebody else. You shouldn't have to wait for somebody else to come back to you. You know, if it didn't work, it can suck and it can be really sad, but ultimately it's for the best usually to move on. I'll do the reading for you, of course, to see what the cards have to say, but that's my own personal opinion. It never really works out to wait for somebody to come back to you after they've left, you know? Well, let's go ahead and put these up on the screen, starting with... There we go. All right. We've got all of the cards for you, Leonix. For your general reading, in order of left to right, we have the Six of Swords, we have the reverse Four of Swords, and we have the Four of Cups. So let's go ahead and start breaking this down for you, starting with the Six of Swords. The Six of Swords is a card of going on a journey to a new place, right? Taking the good things with you and moving forward in your life, right? It's also a card of success after anxieties. Things were really scary. Things have been really, really tough, but it feels like you're finally starting to get somewhere. It feels like you're finally starting to move forward, and you're just here for the ride, right? You got in the car, you're packed, you're ready for this road trip, right? We also follow it up, though, with this reverse Four of Swords, which is a card of healing, you know, patching yourself up after you get out the battle. But the thing is it's more like you're patching yourself up after the fight, because you still have the battle to go. The battle is not over. This current fight is over, which gives you the chance to rest, to recuperate for a second, you know, bandage yourself up, sharpen your sword, you know, and then you gotta charge back out there, right? You're not done fighting yet. This fight has won, but you still have the rest of the battle to go. You gotta keep fighting. You gotta keep moving, right? It's not over yet. But this is still your chance to breathe, and I think it's important for you to remember that this is, in fact, the time for you to catch your breath before you move forward, right? You still gotta keep going, but you can take a second to breathe right now. And then we follow it up with the Four of Cups, which is a card of, there's a lot of different directions you can go on this road trip, a lot of different ways you could go about it, lots of different options for, you know, directions you could take. But ultimately, there is kind of like a best solution for you specifically, right? There is definitely a solution among the bunch that works best for you than maybe the others would. The others would probably still be feasible and probably still work, but there's definitely a ultimate solution for you to pick out of these, right? So it's really important for you to really stop and sort of focus inward before you make any decisions, right? Really stop and think about what it is you truly want, right? And what direction you genuinely want to go in. And that feels especially so when we look at your oracle card, which is fog, right? Which is obscurity and feeling lost. Maybe you feel like you don't know what direction you want to go in, right? And so having that vast open road in front of you can be a little dizzying because you're like, I don't even know where I want to go, much less which road I should take, right? And I think that's sort of the key thing. The cards are like, you got to focus inward. Once you realize where you want to go, what's your next destination, it makes it a lot easier for you to plan the road trip, right? If you just say, I'm going to go out for a drive, of course you're not going to know which direction you should take. But if you go, I think I want to go out for a drive south, then you'll start driving south. Or, I think I want to go to like the park. Okay, well then you'll start driving to the park. Maybe you'll stop along the way at other things, right? You'll be like, while I'm driving, maybe I can take a little detour to go over here, right? And I think that's the key thing, is you really have to sort of stop and assess what it is you genuinely want right now. Because it feels like you can move forward, but you have no direction. And the key thing here is to really just stop and think about what it is you genuinely want, what it is that will bring you the most joy in your life, and set your GPS to that, right? Didn't I tell you to stop living in my walls? It'd be like that sometimes, And plus, I don't have to pay rent if I'm living in your walls, right? I can save money on rent that way. But I think that is sort of the key thing here, is really just stopping to really assess, what it is you genuinely want for yourself. And then you can plan your route for what direction and what roads to take to get there. Because you're trying to move forward, but you don't even know where you want to go. You got to at least pick some place to go. It's okay if you change your mind and you decide to take a detour later, but you got to pick, where are you headed? Believe in the heart of the cards. Hell yeah, brother. Also, oh my gosh, sleep protection spell. I got you. Let me grab my spell book. Where is it? It's behind my wax melter. I was melting some scented wax because it smells nice. Okay, let's see what we got here for the sleep protection spell. All right. Power bestowed upon me by the darkness of the realm. I enact my contract with you in exchange for your magic. Absorb the darkness of my target and leave no trace, so your dreams may be as gentle as the night stars. Nightmare Devourer. There you go. I hope that helps you have sweet, sweet dreams, Jenny. There you go. I'll just set my little spell book right there. But yeah, I hope that helps. So I can lower that. There we go. Yeah, no problem. Alrighty, next up we've got Spicy Palm. What would you like for your reading, Spicy Palm? Because you just put a heart emoji, so did you want like a love reading or? So hi, Merciful, welcome in. Spicy. Platonic love reading. Okay. Let's see what we got for you then, Spicy. Ooh, Merciful snagging a spot. Look at you. Platonic love reading for Spicy Palm. got the cards for you. There we go. All right, Spicy Palm, for your platonic love reading, in order of left to right, we have the Fool, we have the Two of Cups, and we have the reverse Queen of Wands. So we go ahead and we start with the Fool, right? Which is somebody at the beginning of their journey, right? To me, this feels like you've maybe just recently met this person. Maybe this is a new friendship that you formed. Or maybe this is the time where you're just starting to sort of come out of your shell and start to meet new people in general. Whatever the case is, there's not a lot of background between you and this friendship. But even though you don't have that much experience with this other person, it does feel like you mesh incredibly well because we have the Two of Cups, right? And the Two of Cups is a card of a symbiotic relationship, right? It's a relationship that exists in perfect harmony. You can see here the ghost orchid and the pond apple, right? The ghost orchid co-evolved with the pond apple because the specific pollinator that the ghost orchid relies on eats the pond apple. So it's beneficial, right? The seeds from the pond apple get spread because it's getting eaten and then pooped out and digested by the pollinator, but it's also pollinating and helping continue the growth of the ghost orchid. So you can kind of see this sense of like symbiosis and like reciprocation, right? This idea of the two of you mesh really well together and pair really well together in ways that are mutually beneficial for both of you. Yeah, friendships are just as important as romance. It's true. And I think platonic love can be just as sweet and fulfilling as a romantic relationship can be, you know? And so to me, it feels like even though you may not have known this person for a long time, you just click. You click, right? And then we follow it up with the reverse Queen of Wands, which I think is an interesting one to follow up here, because while the Queen of Wands is normally very warm, very fiery, you know, very charismatic, in its reverse, it kind of boosts up those fire elements to somebody that can very easily get burned, right? It's the sense of like somebody who can maybe get a little bit snobbish or can very easily lose control of a situation and react badly because of it. I think of it maybe as somebody with maybe a fiery temper. So it's like, yes, you two work very well together, but also be careful, you know, that you don't let your emotions get the better of you and when situations come to it, because, you know, you're gonna fight. All friends have at least one fight, one disagreement, you know. I think that's kind of normal to have sometimes times where things just don't work out, where you kind of, you know, rub each other the wrong way for a second. But I think it's important to realize, you know, what you do with yourself, how you react to the situation, and how you decide to address the issues is what matters most, right? Because I've definitely gotten into fights with my friends, and I've personally said things that I regretted and that hurt them. And the best thing you can do when that happens is to sort of be like, damn, I fucked up, you know, and just be blatant with a genuine apology, sort of realizing what you did. Like, hey, I shouldn't have said that. That wasn't cool of me. I don't know why I let it get to me at the heat of the moment, but that wasn't okay for me, and you mean a lot to me. And I want to work through this because you're a very important person to me, right? And I think when you come at all of the issues and you tackle them together, it makes it a lot easier. It's the same way with love, right? With romantic love. It's very similar in it should be a us versus the problem rather than us versus each other kind of thing if you want to tackle the issues. So don't let your emotions overboil when, you eventually come to some sort of disagreement on something, right? I think it's very important just to keep yourself in check when that happens. Yeah, arguments happen. Issues will always arise with any form of human communication. But that doesn't mean that it's not a good friendship. It doesn't mean it's not a good platonic love. It just means you gotta focus on how you can address the situation together without, letting ego get in the way, right? Sometimes you just gotta put the ego down and be like, you know what? I fucked up. That's on me. I shouldn't have done that. I shouldn't have said that. I shouldn't have acted that way. Whatever the case is. And I think when both people are willing to understand and come to terms with that, it can help this relationship grow even stronger, right? Yeah, the important part is bouncing back after the argument for sure. Yeah, everybody's gonna have disagreements. Yeah, I've known them for a few years. They don't share a lot about themselves. We don't clash. I've just been more withdrawn and lost my fire. I would say the key thing is you two do mesh well together. Maybe you don't have as much experience with these types of things because you haven't really interacted with them that much. But I would say, what matters is your intentions. Do you want to build a stronger connection with them? Do you want to become closer to them? Because I can tell you, genuinely one of my closest friends, I don't know jack shit about them. They're a very, very private person on the internet. My friend Comey, I've known my friend Comey for, God, like 6 years now. Don't know their birthday, don't know their name, don't even know their assigned gender at birth. Their pronouns are whatever's funniest, right? You could call them pretty much any pronouns. Don't know what they look like, don't know where they live, don't even know what time zone they're in. But we're deep friends, bro. Like, we've known each other for years. I would say don't let your desire to force yourself to know more about somebody ruin a good friendship. It sounds crazy, right? Maybe from the outside you're like, how could you possibly be best friends with somebody you don't even know what time zone they're in, you don't even know what country they're in? But we bonded over our interests. It's actually very funny how I met them. I met them on Tumblr. I kept getting advertisements for a really, really hyper specific mpreg manga everywhere on my computer and on my phone. I kept getting ads for this very specific comic, and I was scrolling through Tumblr and I saw their post being like, is anybody else getting ads for this very specific comic? Right? And the thing is, I had gotten so many ads for that comic, I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm just gonna go ahead and I'm gonna rent it, because it was like on a manga renting site, right? Like, I'm gonna rent it. So I paid like $1 for each chapter, right? So I paid like $8 to read it. And I screenshotted and I saved every single page so that I could have it for later. So I'd be like, I'm gonna get my full money's worth, And so when I saw that they also were being basically spam attacked by these advertisements for this exact same manga everywhere, I DM'd them like, hey, I have a Google Drive with all of the chapters if you want to read it. And that's how we initially met and how we initially bonded, because we were getting targeted by the exact same mpreg manga advertisement, which I happened to basically pirate for them. And then we were both really into the same ship, Totodeku, from My Hero Academia. So we bonded through that too, and just like shipping and talking about that stuff. But yeah, I mean, they're one of the people who I trust a lot. Yeah, that's a wild first meeting story. Yeah, yeah, it is. But that doesn't, just because I don't know that much personal information about Comey, I don't think that detracts from the genuineness of our relationship. Is an impreg manga just a manga where they get pregnant and build a... No, mpreg, M as in like the letter M. It means male pregnancy. It's a story where the man gets pregnant. It's an entire genre of fiction. I'm so glad I can introduce this to you, Gabby. Yeah, usually like gay love stories, especially like Japanese gay love stories, right? They have there's a bunch of different genres and a bunch of different ones, but it's very popular for gay men's love stories to have, when they want them to build a family rather than have them adopt, they'll have some sort of mechanic in the world, but they'll have a mechanic in the world where the men can have the ability to get pregnant, so they can give birth. I don't know if you know this, but men can't get pregnant. Actually, some men can in fact get pregnant in real life. That is possible. There are men who have gotten pregnant in life before. That's disgusting. What's it called? Leonix, I see you trying to act slick. Yeah. Oh, some magic baby. Yeah. Oh, in the stories, they're like basically magic babies. Wait, really? How? So there are some men who were assigned male at birth, but are basically intersex, right? So they'll have a lot of the internal organs, like the ovaries and a vagina, but they'll be able to conceive because maybe they also had a penis as well, because again, intersex is a spectrum of like the combination of all of like the traits of everything, right? Also, hi Jen Spinsey, welcome in. How are you? You were playing Phasmophobia. Were you having fun? Did you win? Did you find any ghosts? Right? So like there are intersex men who have gotten pregnant. There's also trans men who have gotten pregnant. Men who were, originally, female at birth, who have transitioned to becoming men and are still able to get pregnant, So mpreg can exist in real life, but I'm strictly talking about mpreg in fiction, which is usually like more magical. Yeah, they get that classic 2-for-1 special. Yeah, exactly. Also, oh my god, hi Benny, welcome in. I'm sorry you guys walked in on me while I'm discussing mpreg in my chat, but this is very important for me to explain. But welcome in. I hope you guys have a good time. I hope you guys are chilling, having a blast. And by the way, there's mpreg in Journey to the West, like an important cornerstone of Chinese literary history. Hell yeah. Yeah, you'd be surprised. I think, the history of a lot of genres that you wouldn't necessarily expect. But that's what makes it fun. That's what makes life fun. Also, international best-selling author Quan Mills started writing mpreg Omegaverse fiction. He got introduced to the Omegaverse. A famous author known for the story of this hoe has roaches in her room. He started writing mpreg novels now. Yeah, they drink like pregnancy water and they have to drink abortion water. That's crazy. That's fucking crazy. By the way, I love your new song. Oh, Benny, thank you so much. I'm so glad you like it. It was so much fun to work on that song. The Femme Only Society were like, oh no, honey, you drink from the river. That's the river we go to get pregnant. Congratulations. That's so funny. I love that for them. That's hilarious. But yeah, so there's been tales of male pregnancy since ancient times. Yeah. Isn't that neat? Isn't that neat? What were we talking about? Why did we bring up MPreg again? I don't even remember how we got to this conversation. But welcome in, you guys. I hope you guys are having a good time. I hope the raiders are just chilling and vibing. Let's get back to tarot reading. But yeah, I hope that helps, Spicy Palm. Fingers crossed for your platonic love reading. Oh, you changed your mind? That's a shame, but you should go to the unimpregnating cave and drink the remote baby well. Oh my gosh. You really do be like that sometimes. Imagine how much easier things would be if, you know, you could just drink specific water to get pregnant and unpregnant. Things that people see as gay or weird are often found in ancient societies, and that's true, it's true. It just be like that sometimes, you know? Alright, next up, we've got Bread. And what would you like for your reading, Bread? You just put so tired, so sleep. What kind of tarot reading would you like today, Bread? What sort of insanity? What? Hi, Nugget. Welcome in. Did you also come in on the tail end? Not related, but kinda. My YouTube suggested some boring history to sleep to, how women in ancient times dealt with anxiety. It was absolutely the most depressing shit that kept me up for hours. Oh my gosh. That's crazy, dude. I get some pretty interesting recommendations in my YouTube feed as well, but they're normally like, here's 100 ways of how to cook a hot dog, not like, here's how ancient people kept themselves on the verge of, you know, not killing themselves. Also, thank you so much for the follow. Welcome in, Just Pincy. 100 ways to cook a hot dog? Sign me up. Boring history to go to sleep to. The most epic deaths of history. Oh my gosh. Yeah, there is one history guy. I actually follow a lot of his stuff. So there's Tasting History with Max Miller. I am a huge fan of his channel. I've been watching his stuff for years. He's so funny, dude. Pinsy's a very good friend of mine. That's so cool. Yeah. But there is like this whole thing where he will recreate like ancient recipes. He'll go through like ancient cookbooks or old parchment scrolls that describe how to make the food, and he'll make it. He even made like ancient fish sauce in his backyard, and apparently it smelled crazy, dude. But it's always so much fun to watch. I'm a big fan of his channel and his work, and I like seeing the ancient food. There's something about it that's very, I think, satisfying to see how our recipes have evolved, but also how surprisingly similar a lot of our recipes can be as well. Well, I see some stuff, I'm like, yeah, dude, I would eat that. I would make that, yeah. I literally just saw one sleeping in the trenches World War I battlefield ASMR. You know, I feel like I've seen that set. I feel like I have seen that at some point. I don't normally watch those. I'm normally like I get a lot of your boyfriend gets hit by a car but still tries to comfort you as he slowly bleeds out on the pavement ASMR kind of videos. Those are the ones I normally get recommended, you know. Send link? You mean the hit by the car one? You want that? I mean, it's kind of loud at the beginning. I mean, whatever helps you sleep at night, I suppose. Quite literally, since it's ASMR. Barista spills 49 steaming hot coffees on herself ASMR. Yeah, I've seen that one. Yeah, I have. Yeah. It's just her going, ooh, hot, oh, fuck, yeah. It's a hard life being a barista, man. You have no clue. Your boyfriend tries to bake a cake for your birthday but sets the kitchen on fire and dies in the flames. ASMR, so real. So real. But real question, what flavor cake? That's what really matters. You know? If you're trying to bake me a strawberry cake, it's okay for you to die in the flames, I think. I hate artificial strawberry cake. I also seen a different one because she was screaming. Oh, yeah. There's probably multiple. I feel like it's a very popular genre now to make like the almost anti-ASMR videos. Like, I mean, how many of them are there of the boyfriend / girlfriend gets hit by a car and fucking dies ASMR? There's so many of them. There's so many of them. Also, hi, Mita. Welcome in. Meanwhile, my cave diving ASMR video, it flopped, bro. I save you and rescue you from inside of a cave that you got trapped in when you went cave diving. You were in the devil's swallow hole and I saved you. And YouTube said, nah, we're not gonna show this one to anybody. It's because they knew it was too powerful. They knew it was too strong. The meme died out. I posted it while the meme was still active. That's the thing. I still see the meme on occasion, but it's no longer as popular, which is why it probably still hasn't. Yeah, I wrote the script for it and everything, dude. I need to go listen to that. You should. Give me an extra view. Yeah. Can't believe YouTube would sabotage you like this. I know. It's a personal vendetta that YouTube has against me. They're afraid of my power, my ability, if you will. They're scared of the strength and magic that I wield. Also, every single time I scroll through the ASMR roleplay videos and I see that their thumbnail art is AI, I die a little inside. There are so many fucking ASMR roleplay YouTubers who just use AI generated art for their thumbnails. It kills me, dude. It's so ugly. I hate it. I hate it. You know, if enough people come back to watch it again, the algorithm might pick it up. Yeah, maybe. I don't stress too much about it though. Posted it back in like February. Which was like peak when the meme was active. Now it's like almost June, of course it's dead. But, you know, with the speed of how quickly memes die, if you think about it, the lifespan of a meme is roughly 2 weeks now. If we think about it, it's been the equivalent of like 20 years in a meme's lifespan. You could probably bring it back and it's like vintage meme now. You know? Remember when memes lasted a year? Bro, remember when memes lasted like 10 years? When everybody was posting troll faces and everybody was laughing? You remember that? I feel old, Yusuke. I was there for the troll lol. I was in the trenches. Everyone was going me gusto. Oh my god, you're so right. Why you know, yeah. The kids of today could never understand how accessible meme culture was back in the day. Back in my day, meme culture was much more accessible because the lifespan of memes didn't die within 2 weeks. So you actually had a chance to know roughly 5 to 6 memes to be on trend. That's all you needed to know. Icon has cheeseburger. I did like all the cat memes. That's just because I like cats. But you guys know a meme that we like never talk about now, but was like insanely popular and absolutely should not have been popular at all. Like, this should have never flourished, and yet it was a staple meme in specifically anime meme culture. Do you guys remember Pedo Bear? Isn't that fucked up? Ain't that fucked up? There were people who would cosplay as Pedo Bear and go to conventions. Isn't that fucked up? And we were all just laughing. It was one of your favorites. I don't think it was ever my favorite, but I did laugh at it when I was younger, but I was also like a kid at the time. So it's also like, Jesus Christ. Brother, I was at risk. Why was I laughing? It was my ass on the chopping block. Anyway, that's crazy that that was such a massive meme at the time. Wild. Really drastically different times, huh? I was like a teenager at the time. Yeah, me too. Yeah, I was also like a teenager at the time. And then there'd be guys dressed up like Pedo Bear at the conventions who would start chasing like the fucking Lolly cosplayers or whatever. They'd have like pictures of Lolly taped to them or whatever onto a sign. It's like, Jesus Christ, dude. You cannot do that. You cannot do that. That is wild. Yeah, it was a wild time. I feel like things have changed like crazy, and a lot of it for the better. A lot of things have changed for the better over time. Also, hi, Magikarp. Welcome in. What's splashing? Nothing much. Nothing much. We're just reminiscing on ancient meme culture. You know, that's all. What did you say you wanted for your reading, Brad? Was it just a general reading? I forgot. I was shuffling so long I forgot what your reading was. Yeah, it was general. Okay. You're currently suffering from success at the moment? Why don't you share a little success with me? That'd be chill as hell. Past the success blunt. You gotta rotate. Also, hi, Wizard. Welcome in. Thank you for the hydrate. Okay. Got the cards. I'll sip my water. Alright, let's put these up on the screen for you. Starting with... I'm farming for 3 specific Pokemon shinies in this fan game. I currently got 2 Pokemon. I didn't want shiny in like 40 minutes. Oh my god. I have only shiny hunted once. In Pokemon Moon, I shiny hunted for like 3 hours doing the chaining technique on Fomantis and Lurantis. Because I wanted a shiny Lurantis. Because that was my favorite Pokemon from Sun and Moon, was Lurantis. It was very cute. It was a an Orchid Mantis themed Pokemon. I thought it was pretty neato. And that's the only shiny I've ever caught. I've ever seen, honestly. They are very pretty. Yeah, the shiny version is like lemon lime colored. It's pretty cute. I did that with Bacon while my friend was doing that on a call. There is a Pokemon trainer. What's your team? I definitely have a Snorlax on my team because I want a Pokemon I can snuggle against and sleep. And then, some cute Pokemon. But definitely Snorlax. Snorlax is for sure on there. I don't know about the rest though. Like I got 5 more slots. Musharna? I have to look up what that one looks like. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'll allow that one. Yeah, that one can be on my team too. It drowses and dreams all the time. Yeah. I'll yeah, it's a cute tapir. Yeah. Yeah, I like that one. Yeah, we can add that to the list. All right, we got 2 of them picked. Don't forget my boy Komala. Komala. Yeah, he's on the list for sure. You're so right. Oh my god, I love him. He's just a little fella. I love Komala. Yeah. Oh, he reminds me of Giant Panda the giant koala from Yu-Gi-Oh! The giant koala from Yu-Gi-Oh! Reminds me of him. I love Komala. Yeah, he's on my team for sure. Good pick, good pick. He sparks joy. Yeah, Des Koala. Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, that's like my favorite Yu-Gi-Oh! Card, dude. He's just eating his trees like broccoli, dude. I love that for him. And then let's see, we've got, there we go. Oh, a good luck spell. Alrighty, let's see what we got here. Good luck spell. Summoning the stars to guide from above. Lead with light and let Lady Luck shine. Reweave the threads of destiny. Ultima Fortuna. There you go. Hope that helps. Better night. Fingers crossed. Who's reading ends next? We're currently doing Brad's reading. And then after Brad is Set. And then after Set is Ren. And then after Ren is you, Jenny. And then after Jenny is Bitter Night. And then after Bitter Night is Merciful. And after Merciful is Wizard. Yeah. Did you do anything? I was getting ice cream and didn't pay attention. You are so in luck. We got distracted talking about what Pokemon would be on my team. So no, I just put them up on the screen right now. I haven't read anything yet though. Perfect timing. Yeah, we've been super sidetracked this whole time. You're in luck. Chat distracted me. They showed me Komala and I love him. I love Komala so much. Not as much as Snorlax, but he's very close. Snorlax will always be my number 1. Okay. So, in order of left to right for your general reading, Brad, we have the Knight of Coins, we have the reverse Knight of Wands, and we have the 9 of Wands. So, let's go ahead and start breaking it down for you, starting with the Knight of Coins. The Knight of Coins is the epitome of, it ain't much, but it's honest work, right? Somebody who is just a simple, hardworking, honest individual. Just doing their best, you know. It ain't much, but it's honest work, you know. Just trying to do the right thing, trying to move forward, and just work their way through life, you know. One step at a time. They're not trying to do anything too fancy, not trying to do anything too crazy. They're just trying to make it through and do things the right way. Even if it's not the easy way, they're trying to just do it the right way and move forward, right? We follow that up with the reverse Knight of Wands, which to me feels a little bit like somebody who is maybe getting a little bit impatient. While the Knight of Wands is normally a card about somebody who's very passionate, very hot-blooded, very ready to jump forward and to move forward. In its reverse, it's somebody who's maybe a bit itching to move forward, maybe a little bit faster, right? You're trying to do things the right way. You're trying to do things one step at a time, but also your mind is already picturing like 20 steps ahead of where you actually want it to be. You're like, I wish I could already be over there, but I'm still over here. And it's kind of nagging at you a little bit. It's kind of clawing at you a little bit. It's making you a little itchy, a little jumpy in place. You just want to move. You want to go faster. You wish you could just speed things up. You wish you could push the fast forward button. And this is a card of like, hey, it's okay. Calm down. I know you want things to go faster and faster and you want things to get over with. But sometimes you just got to take your time with it. And that feels especially so with the Nine of Wands. And the Nine of Wands is a card about taking your time. It's strength in reserve, slowly biding your time to ensure your success, right? Success does not happen overnight. Things do not happen overnight, right? Rome was not built in a day. As the saying goes. It's the idea of all of these slow, small baby steps are what sets you up for long-term success, right? Setting up the proper foundation takes time. But when you have a strong foundation, it makes the house you build on top of it that much more stable and that much more long-lasting, right? So it's saying you are on the right track. But don't stress about trying to rush things, right? You're building yourself up slowly but surely to get to that point, and that's what really matters. So, it's sort of try to find a way to slow yourself down mentally and sort of enjoy the process, right? You're doing things right, which means it takes the longer. When you do things the right way, it usually means you're not doing it the easy way or the fast way. Just one step at a time. You're making good progress. Even though you're probably itching to go faster, you are making good progress. So just keep focused, keep your eye on the prize. And baby steps, baby steps. You got this, Brad. I believe in you. There you go. I hope that helped, Brad. Next up, we've got Set. And Set wants a relationship reading. A relationship reading. I have concerns about whether this person is being deceptive, and I'm unsure how to proceed. Oh. And Set, since you're subbed, did you also want a oracle card as well? Sure, like the oracle? Okay, I got you. Let's see what we got for you. Okay. Now let's get the oracle card. Also, hi, Sammy. Welcome in. Okay, we've got all the cards for you. Hearing a lot of oohs and ahs over there. I'm starting to get concerned. Nah, I don't think you should be concerned. Don't worry. I'm gonna go ahead and put these up on the screen. Starting with... Boop. And then I will do that spell once I get these cards up on the screen, okay, Magikarp? And after that, we've got... There we go. Also, hi, Twin Finny. Welcome in, welcome in. There we go. Okay, we got all the cards. Let me sip my water. And then let's read that good luck spell for you. Alright, the good luck spell. At this point, I'm using all the help I can get to find these shinies. Alright. Summoning the stars to guide from above. Lead with light and let Lady Luck shine. Reweave the threads of destiny. Ultima Fortuna! There you go. Hopefully that helps you find some more shiny Pokemon. But if not, no refunds or returns. There you go. There's your good luck spell. We are currently doing a sets reading. After set, we have... I'm looking up for the cue. After set is Ren, and then after Ren is you, Jenny. So you're almost here. We're almost to you. Almost. Not yet, though. So, set for your relationship reading about this person who you feel is maybe being a bit deceptive. Right off the bat, to me, this feels less like they're being deceptive and more like past trauma, past bad experiences are kind of eating at them and they're trying to heal, right? And I'll explain what I mean by that slowly but surely, right? We start with the Five of Cups, right? There's no fucking way. Did you find one? Did you find one? Did it work? Did the good luck spell work? Did you catch it? I found a shiny, but it's a repeat. I mean, you didn't say what shiny. You just wanted help with shinies. That's a you issue on that spell request. All right, that's not a me issue at that point. Yeah. That's a you didn't ask for the right thing. It's like a genie in the lamp with that spell, you know. I said that I've been looking for. No, you just said at this point I'm using all the help I can get finding these shinies, lol. No, you didn't say that you've been looking for a specific one. It's poor phrasing on your part. Not my fault. And still, no refunds or returns, as previously stated. But yeah, so we start with the Five of Cups, right? And the Five of Cups is learning to rely on yourself. It's a break from dependency on other people and the realization and reassurance that you yourself are enough, right? And learning to protect yourself, right? So to me, this doesn't sound like it's talking about you. To me, this sounds like it's talking about them. They're learning that they are enough and that they can handle things. Maybe they've recently started going to therapy. Maybe they're just trying to learn how to process a lot of previous baggage and a lot of previous emotions because they want to work through this and they want to realize that they're good enough, right? But to me, it sounds like maybe they might be in therapy or something because we have the Hierophant, right? And the Hierophant is a card of a trusted leader, somebody who is knowledgeable, who can sort of help put you onto a proper path for yourself, right? They're a respected teacher and they're a guiding hand that can help in terms of spiritual enlightenment. Usually it's like a symbol for like a religious leader, but it doesn't necessarily have to be religious, but it is like a spiritual healing, a spiritual journey, which to me makes me feel like maybe they've recently kind of started going through therapy. They're trying to unpack a lot of this baggage. They're trying to sort through all of these difficult things that they've had in their past and past experiences. Maybe in terms of romance, a lot of bad romances tend to leave scars on the heart that can be very difficult to heal, even over time. So to me, this feels like they're trying. They're trying, they're taking their time. Slowly but surely, looks like they have somebody that's trying to help them as well, to help them blossom and bloom again. But they're trying to learn that they can handle things on their own and they can be strong enough on their own, right? And then following this up as well with the Page of Wands. And the Page of Wands is somebody who is at this sort of beginning of the journey, right? The young person at the start of their journey, but also somebody who's trying to achieve this sense of enlightenment and this newfound burning passion, right? So to me, this feels like they're trying to heal. They're trying to learn, they're trying to heal from a past trauma, from a past experience, whatever the case might be, whatever their past baggage is. And maybe, it's still affecting and it's causing a strain on what your current relationship is with this person. And they're trying to work on that. But maybe they don't have I don't want to say like they don't fully trust yet that they can fully rely on you. And it's not necessarily through any fault of your own, but just, some people really fuck you up after a relationship and it can be really difficult to trust even people in your head are trustworthy, right? And that's where I think the Oracle card comes in for you, right? Because the Oracle card is preserves, like fruit preserves, which is a card of security and forethought and thriftiness. To me, this feels like don't be too discouraged that things aren't working out right now. It feels like this is kind of a long-term thing that they're sort of addressing and building up to. And the best thing for you right now, I think, is to just present yourself as best as you can as somebody who is a stable and secure figure for them, and slowly and surely build up the potential for them to come up to you in the future. Baby steps. They're still working through a lot of things, and I think they realize that they're working through a lot of things that makes them uncomfortable because they don't want to burden you. They're like, I got my own mess, got my own baggage. I don't feel comfortable telling you about it right now, which maybe is why they maybe come off as seeming evasive, or seeming like they're being deceptive. It's probably because they don't fully trust you yet, not necessarily through any fault of your own, but just through the lived experiences that they've had with other people. And I would say the best thing you can do is just try to show that you are somebody that they can go to, that they can trust. And over time, you'll build up this sense of security. You'll build up this sense of, this is somebody I can go to. This is somebody I can rely on, right? And that will make it a lot easier, I think, in the future for them to finally open up to you. Yeah, it's just slow and steady. I would say try to give them the benefit of the doubt, right? Oftentimes, when people don't talk about certain things or it feels like they're dodging certain questions, it's not usually, for the most part, out of some evil intent. A lot of times it can just be like, well, I've been burned in the past when I've confided in people. When I told somebody how I felt, they've used that in the past against me to hurt me. So until I know for a fact that you're not going to do that, I kind of just assume everybody's going to do that. And that's why I keep to myself, kind of thing. As an example, as like an example idea. I'm not necessarily saying that's what specifically is happening, but I would just say try to give them the benefit of the doubt. Try to believe that whatever it is something that is not malicious to you, right? And I think when you go in with those good intentions of like, hey, just take your time, you don't have to tell me, but I'm here for you, right? I think that will help a lot. I found another. I should really have been specific with that luck chant. Yeah, you really should have. You really should have, Magic Heart. But hopefully that helps set. I feel like the best thing you can do is just try to be a figure that they feel like they can eventually come to rely on. And just accept that it's probably not anything personal, not anything against you specifically. It's probably just that they're working through a lot of stuff right now and they got to slowly build themselves back up, especially after the trauma and pain of whatever may have happened previously before you came into the picture, right? Everybody's got some kind of emotional baggage on them, and it seems like they're trying to work through theirs. So just give them the benefit of the doubt for it, yeah. Yeah. Sometimes the best thing you can do is just give somebody the space, but let them know that you're in the room if they need you, you know? Yeah, I'll keep doing what I'm doing and make sure they know I'm there for them. Yeah, I think that's the best course of action. Next up, we've got Ren. And Ren wants a reading on creative projects. And did you also want a oracle card, Ren, since you are subbed? Yes, please. Okay, I got you. Let's see what we got for your creative projects reading. Your tarot deck's so pretty. I love the natural themes with them and the oracle card. Yeah, I love them a lot. They make me very happy. I think the colors and the art for the tarot deck is just so vibrant and pretty. It makes me very happy. And then the Green Witch Oracle deck I also like a lot as well. It's always fun being here. You're fun to hang out with. Aw, thank you, Jeremy. Very, very sweet of you. I'm glad you're having a good time. Hi, Kako. Welcome in. Who's getting the reading now? We are currently doing the reading for Ren. Oh, this does feel very, very you. This does feel very you. And now let's grab your oracle card. Okay. We've got all the cards for you, Ren. The Ren reading of all time. Yeah, honestly, you'll get it. You'll get. Am I getting roasted? A little bit. A little bit. You're getting a little bit roasted. You're getting toasted. You're like a golden marshmallow. All right, let's go ahead and put this up on the screen. Starting with. There we go. Alrighty, we got all of the cards for you, Ren, for your creative projects reading. So, in order of left to right, Ren, we have the reverse Knight of Coins, we have the Seven of Cups, and we have the reverse Emperor. And then for your oracle card, we have hedge, like a hedge maze, like bushes, right? So let's go ahead and start breaking this down for you, starting with the reverse Knight of Coins. The reverse Knight of Coins, well, the Knight of Coins is normally like very honest, hardworking person, you know, that it ain't much but it's honest work. In its reverse, it kind of turns up those traits a little bit too high, and it kind of becomes somebody who's very stagnant. Maybe you like to do things in a very specific way. You want things done this way. This is the way to do it. And it's kind of stagnating you a little bit, I think, to be a little bit too dead set in your ways, right? It feels like you have a very particular, very specific process, a very specific vision, and that's kind of limiting you a lot, actually, because right after that we have the Seven of Cups, and the Seven of Cups is a card of possibilities and freedom to explore. You know, if you can dream it, you can do it, you can make anything happen, right? The Seven of Cups is a card of freedom and adaptability, and it feels like you are not allowing yourself to have this freedom because, well, it needs to be done this way. I need to do it this way and this and this and this. And the cards are like, but you've got so many options. I think if you didn't limit yourself as much, you would be able to do things that normally you would never be able to do. But you've got such a rigid structure. And this feels sort of especially amplified by the reverse Emperor card as well, because the Emperor upright is you know, somebody who's sort of like a project manager, making everything work smoothly, having everything go in the specific direction needs to go into, the positive results of your hard work. But in its reverse, the Emperor becomes a tyrant, right? Very overbearing, very controlling, very inflexible. So I interrupt, but let's go, shiny Greninja. Yeah, let's go. Lucky chant approval. Yeah, we'll We'll print out that review and put underneath the the lucky chant. But it does feel like very much you are trying to force something to happen rather than letting the art play itself out, rather than letting the creative projects sort of show you the direction that they kind of want to go in. It feels like you're fighting them. You're like, no, I want you to go this way. And they're like, but I want to go over there. I want to go play on the playground. And you're like, no, you're going to study violin for 6 hours. Now pick up your bow and start practicing. And it's like, but I want to paint. And it's like, no, you're learning the violin now. And you, sure, it could be a pretty good violinist and when you force it to practice the violin, but it could have been an even better painter if you just let it do its thing, you know? I think that's the key thing here, is you're trying to force your creative projects to have a very specific end goal. And I think when it comes to creative projects, the best thing for you to do is to let them flourish. And sometimes they will go in just a completely different direction, and it's just up to you to, you know, rein it in a little bit, you know. When you let the kids go out to play on the playground, you know, you let them have fun, you let them run around. You just make sure that they don't leave the park, right? You go, okay, have fun, go crazy, but stay in the park, right? Stay where I can see you so I don't lose track of you. But other than that, go nuts, kiddo, right? And that's how the kid tuckers himself out afterwards, right? It's the same situation here with like and also to make sure they don't hurt themselves. Your job is to make sure that your creative project, you know, goes through. You're trying to just make sure it stays roughly on track. Think of yourself less as the person creating the project and more as like the editor or the manager for the project, right? An editor is not going to tell the author, you need to write this. You need to write this specific thing with this specific ending with these specific characters. No, the editor's going to be like, all right, author, what'd you bring me today? And the author's going to be like, yeah, so I wrote you a story about what if a deck of cards fell in love with a pair of dice, you know? And you go, oh, okay, let me look through it. Okay, I think we have something good we can work with here. But maybe we can strengthen this here, and then we can build up on this that you have established here, you know? Maybe we can pull back on a little bit on this specific aspect so we can focus more on these aspects. So you're helping sort of bring the full potential of something. I would say just let the plot bunnies kind of run free. Feels like you've got such a tight rein on what you want to create that you're not letting it go free and have that chance to really just explore. Sometimes you just gotta let go of the leash. As long as it's in sight, as long as it's not gonna run into traffic, let it run free, right? And that brings us as well to your oracle card, which is hedge, like a hedge maze, right? Which is potential, but it's also boundaries, right? You are setting your own boundaries. You are setting your own end limits. When you create all of these specific barriers to yourself, you are limiting what your own creative project can do, right? Maybe your creative project won't turn out how you initially expected or how you initially envisioned it. But that's not a bad thing. Sometimes the creative project will turn out way better than anything you could have possibly planned for, right? And I think that's the thing here. And don't get too caught up in what you want the end goal to be, but rather let the project flourish and go from there. Just you got to go for the ride. When it comes to creativity, you can't force it to go in any one direction. You just have to let it see where it grows and where it goes, you know? So don't stress too much about trying to force it into a certain contained unit. And I think that'll help you a lot more with your creative endeavors. Yeah, you got such a tight hold on, you're starting to choke it a little bit. Yeah, it's going. Yeah. You gotta let it breathe. You gotta air the dogs out, you know? Spread the toes a little bit. And hopefully that'll help. Give you a little breather, you know? Next up, we've got Jenny. Did you read the titles of the dice and the deck of cards story? I did not read the title. No, I just made that up. I don't think that's a real story. I just made that up on the fly. Let the puppies run free. Yeah. Oh, I made one for it? Oh, what was it called? What was it called? I didn't see it. Title, Love is Always a Gamble, but it's impossible to hide behind a poker face. Oh my gosh, that's so good. I love that. I love that. That's a good one, Magikarp. Alright, Jenny, are you here, Jenny? It's your turn. Or did Jenny disappear? Let me sip my water. Is Jenny still here? I think Jenny might have disappeared. Jenny may have had shit to do. Alright, well, we will... yeah. We will... Since I don't think Jenny's here at the moment, I don't see them. Yeah, they might have disappeared. I don't see them in the list. But that's fine. We'll come back to them. We'll do a final call later. But we'll skip them for now and we'll come back to them later. Yeah, maybe they went to go piss girl, maybe. But next up we have Bitter Night. So, Bitter Night, are you here? It's also possible Bitter Night also went to go piss girl, because I also don't see them in here. Seems they also may have disappeared. But we'll ask, we'll see. Bitter Night, are you here? Alright, Bitter Night may have also disappeared. So, yeah, they got too eepy. I accidentally lulled them to sleep. Oh, hi, Jenny. Hi, welcome back, Jenny. Perfect timing. We'll go ahead and do your reading for you. Alright, and Jenny wants a love reading for her and her man. So let's do it. We'll see what we got for you, Jenny. Only for him? Okay, okay. So a love reading for your man. Let's see what we got for you. Okay. Let's go ahead and put these up on the screen for you, Jenny. Starting with... last card, which is... There we go. All right, so we've got the cards for you, Jenny, for the love reading for your man. In order of left to right, we have the reverse King of Swords, we have the Moon, and we have the Queen of Wands. So let's go ahead and start breaking this down for you, starting with the reverse King of Swords. Well, the King of Swords is somebody who maybe looks cold on the outside. There's somebody who's very blunt with who they are and what they're thinking and how they can help, right? There's somebody who, seems cold on the outside, but they are very caring. In its reverse, though, which is how we have it, it's kind of turning up some of those colder outer qualities a bit more. And it seems like somebody very hard to approach. Maybe feels a bit almost ruthless. Maybe almost a little bit scary. You can kind of see the daimyo warrior sort of helmet here. It does feel very much like similar to a samurai, right? A samurai is supposed to stand up for the people, supposed to be there to protect those who have a hard time protecting themselves and take up their sword. But also they can be kind of intimidating, kind of scary, because they are the ones wielding the sword in the first place, right? And yes, you are up next, Bitter Knight. After we do Jenny, you're up next. Yep. And then we also follow that up with the Moon, which is a card of sort of like it's night, it's intuition, it's dreams, but it's also the changing of the tides. But I would say be careful, because the moon can also be cold. It can also be danger in the shadows. To me, it feels like there's something that seems maybe a little scary, a little bit off-putting. Not necessarily that they are scary or off-putting, but it does feel like there is sort of something underneath the surface to be aware of and to be careful of, right? But it does feel like your man is paired very well with you, because while we have that sort of cold looking outside, somebody that has a hard time letting their guard down, who's very quick to keep others at a distance, we also have the Queen of Wands, right? And the Queen of Wands is somebody who's very warm, very sensual, very caring, right? Somebody who is ready to sort of help take care of others and to lead the way as well, right? They're very passionate, very fiery, and so you feel like this combination of the wind from the King of Swords, but also tied in with the fire from the Queen of Wands. It does feel like it sort of amplifies a lot of things, right? Because wind sort of stokes fires. So to me, this can be both a good thing and something to be wary of, right? Obviously, you need some wind in order to stoke a fire, but too much wind and the fire goes kind of crazy, and it can a little bit scary and off-putting, but not super off-putting, is like the third line of my dating profile. Hi, J-Bomb, welcome in. But to me, it feels like there's something underneath the surface that maybe is not easily perceptible, but maybe you started to notice, Jenny. And to just be careful, because it feels like while you two can easily rile each other up in a good way, it also feels like it's possible that you could also push each other too far in the other direction as well. It feels like a very passionate relationship in both the good but also in the bad. And that's just something to be mindful of, I think, is the idea of you both tend to, I think, work each other up in different ways, because of that sort of wind and fire aspect to you, you know? So I'd say just sort of keep an eye out on how you manage your own emotions and your own emotional sort of regulation, and then see how he manages his. And I think that'll help a lot in sort of grasping things on your relationship, you know? But yeah, I hope that helps, Jenny. Fingers crossed. As soon as we find your Earth, they got a pretty good band going. Yeah. I believe. Alright, next up we've got Bitter Night. And Bitter Night said, will Jeremy take me back? I mean, we can look into your relationship potential with Jeremy. It's not really a yes or no question kind of thing. I already told you what I thought. I think you shouldn't be waiting for somebody to come and take you back. I think you should move on from this person. I think you should move on and find somebody who loves you and isn't gonna just leave you. Because it feels like you're wanting to be accepted by them. Because you've probably invested a lot of time and energy into them, and you've put in a lot of love in your heart into this relationship, and maybe they're not reciprocating, and you're hoping that maybe they will just wake up and reciprocate. But sometimes some people don't, and it sucks, but you got to cut your losses. But we'll ask the cards. That's just my personal opinion. Sans the cards, you know, not including the cards. That's just what I think. Well, let's see what the cards have to say about the relationship between you and this Jeremy. Okay, we've got all the cards for you, Bitter Night. So let's go ahead and put them up on the screen, starting with I feel like the cards are saying something a little bit similar to what I'm saying, but maybe with like a more gentle nuance to them. You'll see. It's definitely a more gentle nuance to the cards than what I was saying, but they're basically saying something similar. And then the last card is the there we go. All right, Bitter Night, we've got the cards for you for your relationship reading between you and this Jeremy. So in order of left to right, we have Judgment, we have the 7 of Coins, and we have the 8 of Wands, right? So we start with Judgment. Judgment is the end of the darkness and the dawn of something new, right? It is the start of something new. It's time to move forward and to move on, right? It's new possibilities. It is change just over the horizon. And I think it's these new possibilities that you should be seeking out, these new things that can happen. And that feels sort of especially amplified as well with the Seven of Coins, because the Seven of Coins is a card of forward motion and of growth, right? But not only that, it is a card of change requires hard work and effort, right? It's not something that happens overnight. If you want things to change, you have to put in a lot of time and a lot of effort in order to move forward. And it can be scary, but it's necessary if you want to move, if you want to grow, if you want to become who you really want to be, right? And then following that up as well, we have the Eight of Wands. And the Eight of Wands is dedication to a cause. Dedicated to successfully juggling multiple different things at once. But it's also a card of sort of, in a sense, it's like this feeling of like being troubled. You can sort of see the thorns all around the blackberries, right? So there's this feeling of there's a lot of potential pain in staying where you are. And so I think the key thing here is there's kind of two ways to interpret this. You could interpret this as how I would personally interpret it, which is, you got to move on. You got to move forward. You have to move on. You can't keep looking back at what you had before because you will not get it again. It sucks to feel like what you had before is gone and there's no way to get it back, but that is simply life. But it doesn't mean that you'll never find anything better. It doesn't mean that you'll never be happy again. It just means that this relationship has already changed, right? And to stay around and to stick around trying to hope for it to go back will only cause you pain. That's how I would interpret it. If you really wanted to, you could also possibly interpret this as, have you both changed as people? Are you both of you, because it takes two to be in a relationship, are the both of you absolutely determined and willing to change and to grow and to become better people together? Because it's hard work. It takes pure dedication, but it can't just be on your end. It also has to be on Jeremy's. It also has to be on his end, right? If both of you are not giving 100% to the relationship, it's not going to work. It's just going to be the same thing again, right? And you could put in 200% of your effort, but if they're putting in 0, it doesn't matter. It's still going to fail. It requires two people. But also, Vivi, oh my gosh, thank you so much for the 13 months, Vivi. Thank you. So I think the thing here is also, are you clinging to the past because the past relationship was full of good memories and you put in so much time and effort you don't want to let it go? Or is this something that you feel like both of you have the genuine chance to create something new? Because if you're waiting for him to come back to you, it sounds like he's not interested in putting in that effort and putting in that energy into rebuilding that relationship with you if you're still waiting for him to come back. Just personally, that's what it sounds like. And it can be really tough. Trust me, I've tried to patch things up with previous lovers where things fell apart and I kept hoping that they would come back because part of my self-worth and how I perceived myself as whether or not I was good enough relied on them seeing me. It's not worth it. He was a piece of shit. I've grown, I've changed, I've become a completely different person, and you have too. Maybe you feel like you haven't changed, but you have. Because of your experience with him, you've already changed. Because of everything that's happened, you're already a different person, and he's already a different person. And it can be really scary to let go of the relationship you had with him for so long, or however long it was. But I think it's a matter of, you have to come to terms with, are you both wanting to be in the relationship with each other? Or are you just desperate to have back what you lost? And sometimes you have to realize that you just have to say goodbye to some things, as sad as it can be, you know? Also, Olka, welcome in, Olka. Thank you so much for the raid. Oh my goodness. Welcome in, you guys. Oh my gosh, let me snooze the ads again. Oh my goodness. I hope you guys have been doing well. Yeah, I've been there as well. Sometimes you just need to believe that you're lovable, not just by that one person. Yeah, you'll find somebody way better. I don't think you need to stress too much about trying to wait for that one person to come back to you. But welcome in, Raiders. How was the Okathon? Oka. Did you have a good time? Were you doing special events? Thank you for the advice. Yeah, I hope it helps. I really do. I really, really do. I think it can be really scary, but sometimes you just have to hear somebody tell you, you know, that you just gotta cut your losses. You will find somebody who will put in just as much effort and love and attention into a relationship as you do. And you will find them. But maybe this isn't the person, and that's okay, you know? You had a good time, lots of yapping with Final Fantasy and getting more goals achieved with the cuties. Yeah, I'm glad to hear it, Oka. Nice. But yeah, I think that is sort of the key thing here. It can be scary to try and move on from a relationship, especially one that you've poured your heart and your soul into. But it takes two people for a relationship to work. And it doesn't matter if you're putting all of the love and all of the attention, all of the care into the relationship if they're not giving it back, right? You deserve somebody who's going to put in just as much love and care and attention into that relationship as you do, right? That's what you deserve. Somebody who's just going to take all of your love and never give anything back doesn't deserve your love. And it can be scary because you're like, but I put so much time, I put in so much effort. Now it feels like it's gone to waste, but it hasn't. It hasn't gone to waste. Because you do have those good memories that you can hold on to, and you can still cherish those good memories while recognizing that you're different people and it didn't work out, and that's okay. But you still made beautiful memories. And you can carry on with the knowledge that you've gained from this, you know, relationship to bring into a good relationship with you in the future, you know? It can be scary to move on from a relationship, especially a long one that you've been in for a really long time. But there's plenty of fish in the sea, you know? There's lots of people out there. Also, hi, Nitro Owl. Thank you for the follow. Welcome in. Also, thank you, Med, for 6 months. Thank you. Half a year. That's crazy, dude. That's wild. Also, thank you, Oka, for 24 months and at tier 3. Oh my god, my singular tier 3 in chat. Thank you, Oka. You get 3 kissies. Special privilege of tier 3s. Yeah, the things you learn from a failed relationship can help you do better in the future relationships. Yeah. I've been in a lot of failed relationships. I've been in relationships that didn't work out. I've been in a lot of relationships. I've probably lost count. And it sucks that they didn't work out. But it was for the best, because I learned a lot about myself through those relationships. And I learned a lot about who I want to be and, you know, what I want out of a relationship as well and what I deserve, right? And that's helped me find happy relationships that work out for me, you know, now and in the future of my relationship, right? I think that's what matters most. It's not a loss. I think if when you look at it as a loss, when you lose the relationship, you lose all of the valuable memories and insights that you've gained from it, you know? You just gotta keep it in mind that, like, this was not a waste. Because you did gain things out of it, you know? You just gotta focus on the positives. It can be scary, it can be sad. You can still grieve the loss of that relationship. It still sucks, it's still painful. It's okay to cry. It's okay to feel upset that relationship is no longer there. But ultimately, it's still for the best, you know? It is what it is. Also, Ponran, thank you so much for the follow. And Anon, Thank you, Anon, for the gift sub to Jersey Mike's. I actually had Jersey Mike's early this month. Actually, I had Jersey Mike's sandwich. They had a deal on DoorDash. It was buy one get one free. So I got 2 sandwiches for the price of one. It was pretty banger. I do love a good Italian sandwich. A good Italian sandwich always hits. With the oil and the vinegar. That's the good shit. That is, in fact, the good shit. So thank you, Anon. Thank you, thank you. Alrighty, next up, we've got... Yeah, you'll find the roads lead to your Nouvelette, I believe. Next up is Merciful. And Merciful Madness wants a general reading. Oh my god. Set! Thank you. What do you mean you gifted a sub to DoorDash sucks? What? DoorDash is good. At least here it's pretty solid. What the heck? Who's this personal vendetta against DoorDash? What's going on over there? But thank you for the thank you for the gift sub set. Thank you. Yeah, let's see what we got for Merciful's general reading. Yeah, that is a name. That's crazy. What if that was like the official DoorDash? They called it DoorDash sucks because like nobody expects it to be us. Choo choo, yeah. Choo choo. It is a pretty cute emote. Yeah, someone got into my DoorDash account back in like 2017 and stole $350, and DoorDash was absolutely worthless in helping with that. Oh no, that sucks. That sucks. I'm so sorry. Dude, I feel bad whenever I do have to like make a claim, because like I'll order like chicken nuggets or whatever and I'll get my honey mustard sauce in the order, and then when they deliver it they don't give me any sauce. Not even like they gave me the wrong sauce. They'll just give me no sauce at all, and then they expect me to eat fucking dry ass chicken nuggets, dude. And so I'll be like, hey man, they didn't give me my fucking sauce with the chicken nuggets. It's just dry ass nuggets. And so they'll be like, okay, we'll credit your account with like $4. I'm like, okay. And I always feel bad every single time I have to, but it's like, how hard is it to just put a couple sauces in the bag, man? Give me my fucking nuggies and my sauce. That's all I want. It's happening to me tonight with Wendy's. I got a Frosty. Oh. And there was no Frosty. That sucks. I like to dip my fries in my Frosty, and that's like one of the things I've always liked. I like getting the chocolate Frosty with the fries and then dunking my fries in it, scooping up the Frosty with the fries and eating it. It's so good. That's like one of my favorite childhood treats to get. I would also do that with my chocolate shake. Whenever I go to like a burger place that has like a chocolate shake, I'll dip my fries in the chocolate shake. It's good. You can dip it in vanilla too, but I don't normally get a vanilla shake. I normally get chocolate, and I don't know. It's like the weirdest version of a chocolate covered potato chip, but like in a good way. It's like freaky, but in a good way, you know? Like it's freaky, but not like freaky, you know? It's pretty yummy. The nuggie is dry and you don't have the sauce. I know, you gotta like fucking chug water with every bite, dude. Take a bite of nugget, drink down the water. To hide the shame of a sauceless nuggie. It's tragic. That's the way life is, you know? That's the way the cookie crumbles, the way the nugget fries. Let's see what we got from Merciful's reading. Let's see what we got for you. Okay. We've got the cards. Let's go ahead and put them up on the screen. Starting with... Oh, there we go. A bite of nugget is what my face to look like, yeah. Yeah, the nuggies should be juicy and crisp. I think that's a important factor to take into consideration. We have to be careful with it, you know? Back what I missed. Nothing, we're just putting your cards up on the screen right now. We were just talking about dry nuggies, dry chicken nuggets, and the pain they can cause. The anguish, if you will. That's why sauce is so important. There we go. All right. We've got all of the cards for you, Merciful, for your general reading. So in order of left to right, we have the reverse Three of Coins, we have the Knight of Wands, and we have the reverse of the Moon. So we start with the reverse Three of Coins, which is a card of a lack of focus. Normally, the Three of Coins is a card of like sort of like honing your skills, mastering a craft, building yourself up. In its reverse, it's this feeling of like stagnation. You feel like you're not really moving forward. You feel like you're not really growing in the direction that you want to. Feel like you're kind of stuck in place a little bit, you know? That's it. It feels like you're just not focused. You're not locked in. You can't seem to get yourself locked in how you want to. And it's kind of bugging you a little bit. And then we followed up as well with the Knight of Wands, which is somebody who's passionate, somebody who's hot-blooded, who's ready to throw themselves into the action to do the things that they love. But again, you're having that trouble of feeling like you still can't manage to lock in, and it's bugging you because you want to lock in so badly. You want to just get in there and get your hands dirty and just go crazy, go, you know, sicko mode. And yet you can't do it. You can't bring yourself to do it. For some reason, it's like something's blocking you. And it feels like what's blocking you is this reverse Moon card, right? While the Moon is normally a card of like creativity and intuition and like the changing of the tides and imagination, in its reverse, it's this sense of like, it's too dark. You can't see. It feels like you can't see what direction you want to go in, and it kind of feels like you're pressed up against the wall, right? It feels cold. It feels like just shit luck. Like there's danger sort of lurking in the shadows. It's hard to feel like you can really get yourself in the vibe because you feel like you don't even know what direction to go in a sense as well, right? This feeling of I can't fucking see because it's dark outside. I'm tripping all over myself. Oh, as crazy as it sounds, sometimes you have to take a couple steps back before you can take the steps forward, right? If you're having a hard time seeing, sometimes you got to go back inside the house and grab a flashlight, right? And sometimes it feels like you're not making progress because, oh my God, I'm going backwards. I'm going back into the house. That's the opposite direction of where I want to be going. But You go back in, you grab that flashlight, you come out, you're gonna go way further than if you were trying to stumble through the dark alone, right? But it does feel like you're kind of in a block right now. You're kind of in a rut right now. It feels like you're not really moving in the direction that you want to. It feels like things are kind of obscuring your vision. It's getting to you a little bit, I think. Feeling like you're not going in the proper direction because you can't fucking see. You can't fucking see. It's too dark outside, you know? Sometimes you feel like, Martha, I'm coming home, sweetie. I'm back in the fucking building. Yeah, exactly. But I think that's the thing is, if you're struggling to force yourself to move forward, sometimes the best thing for you to do is to just take a couple of steps back and reassess. And sometimes you'll find that once you reassess, it makes it a lot easier for you to move way more forward, right? It's, 3 steps forward, 2 steps back, but then 3 steps forward, right? You're still making progress. Sure, you did have to go back a little bit, but now you're moving forward still, right? You're still at least 2 steps further than you were before. And I think that's kind of, you just have to trust that sometimes you have to go backwards in order to go forward again. You can't force yourself to just keep slamming your head against the brick wall, trying to break through. Sometimes you gotta go back into the shed and grab, the sledgehammer. You are not the Kool-Aid man. You cannot burst through the brick wall through sheer brute force alone. Sometimes you need tools. And sometimes those tools are further back, where you were before. You gotta go around back and get them again. And that's okay. You're not losing progress. And sometimes you just gotta reassess. So I think that's sort of the key thing here is take the breather, really stop and think about what's getting in the way, and also realize it's okay to take a couple steps back in order to eventually move even more forward in the future, right? It's okay. It's okay if you have to go back into the house to grab the flashlight. Because once you get out there again with that flashlight, you're fucking game, bro. You're gonna go way further. So don't stress if you have to circle back around. You'll make it. You'll make it. But yeah, I hope that helps. Merciful. Fingers crossed. Don't assume that going backwards where you came from is a measure of failure or giving up. Sometimes it's just a matter of grabbing the tools you need to move even more forward to get through the roadblocks. But yeah, fingers crossed. I hope that helps. And then next up we have Wizard. Wizard, are you here? Level 63, Wizard 60. Also, hi, Vortexiality. Welcome in. Nice and refreshed. Hi, Wizard. And Wizard wants a general reading. Morning, good morning. Did you just wake up? Let's see what we got for your general reading. Let's see what we got for your general reading, Wizard. All the W's making me go baby mode. It's bedtime. Good night, Seth. Sweet dreams. I hope you sleep well. Good night, good night. Okay, we've got the cards for you, wizard. So let's put them up on the screen. Starting with... There we go. Alrighty. So we've got all the cards in order of left to right. We have Temperance. We have the reverse Two of Cups. And we have the Four of Wands. So let's go ahead and start breaking this down for you, starting with Temperance, right? Temperance is a card of go with the flow, right? It's adaptability and it's balance, right? Sort of see where the tides take you, see where the waves go, and don't try to fight the current to get to where you're trying to go, right? But we also followed up with the reverse Two of Cups, which is a conflict, right? It feels like focusing on one thing at the expense of other things is kind of pushing you away from your goals and where you want to go. It feels like you're putting and investing so much of your time and energy and your focus on one specific thing, one specific goal, that you're losing track of all the other things that are happening around you, right? It can be very easy, I think, to get sort of honed in and locked in on one thing, but things change, life changes. You just got to roll with the punches. You got to just let things happen as they happen. When you try to force things to work through it too much, things can kind of fall apart. Then nothing's really guaranteed. And if you try to put all of your eggs in one basket, it makes it much, much harder for you to recover if, you know, that basket doesn't work out, right? That also feels like it's kind of coming into play as well with this Four of Wands, right? Because the Four of Wands is telling you straight up, like, you know, you gotta find stability, right? Don't put all of your eggs in one basket. You gotta set things aside. You have to really look and think about what you can do to give yourself that stability, that harmony, and you gotta split your focus a little more and let things happen as they happen and go with the flow, right? It's difficult, I think, to break yourself away from trying to make this one thing happen. If I just put enough time, if I put enough energy, if I put in enough money, whatever the case is, I can make this happen. Sometimes you just gotta stop, take a breather, reassess. What is important right now? What is genuinely the key focus here? You know, is it, you know, making sure you get through all of your classes if you're in, you know, college? Or is it making sure that you're getting this deadline done for work? Or is it just making sure you have enough money for rent? Whatever the case is, just make sure you focus on what matters and just let everything else kind of fall into place for you. You can help push the ball, you know, to get it started, to get it rolling, but also just kind of see where the ball goes naturally. When you try to baby the ball and kind of keep it in line, you know, it makes it a lot harder. You got the ball wavering back and forth, going in all these different directions. Just push it once, let it roll, see where it goes, and you can go from there while you focus on everything else, while you push all these other balls down, right? And then you can, once they finish rolling, you go over to them, push them again, let them keep rolling further. But just kind of find what works for you. Find your system. Find where you feel safe. Just get your house in order, you know? Make it so when you go to bed at night, you feel like you can genuinely fall asleep without too much stress bearing down on you at night, you know? because it feels like you have so many things on your shoulders right now, and it is probably fucking up your jaw, bro. You should probably go to a dentist, maybe get like a night guard or something. I feel like you're probably grinding your teeth at night from stress. Trust me, I would know. I would know. I do the same shit. But that's why you gotta go to a dentist. You gotta release that tension from your jaw. Were you clenching your jaw just now? Were you? You should unclench your jaw, right? Sometimes you just have to stop, take a deep breath, just just let shit happen. Just let shit happen. Just let it happen. Make sure you just got the main key priorities taken care of, and let it go. Let's see where it goes. It can be scary to, I think, give up some of that control, but the best thing you can do and the easiest weight to take off your shoulders is to be like, whatever happens, happens, man. It is what it is. Powerful phrase. It is what it is. And whatever will be, will be. As long as you got the basics covered, food, housing, shelter, water, the rest can work itself out. But yeah, I hope that helps, Wizard. Sometimes you just gotta take a breather. You just gotta let things work out. As long as you got the key points taken care of, things manage to find a way to work themselves out. But yeah, fingers crossed that helps. Sounds like a pretty good plan. I might try that. Yeah, it helps a lot, I think, when you just kind of realize that you can't sort of baby and finagle all of the minute details of every little aspect of your life. Sometimes you just gotta let shit grow and do its own thing, like E. coli on room temperature beef. Gotta let it do its thing. It'll go just fine. Things just have a habit, I think, of working out in the end, a lot of the time. As long as you're covering the most basic parts of it. Let the details fill themselves in, But yeah, that is officially all of the readings. We're all caught up. Yay! Oh my goodness. But you know what? I think we'll still do one raffle slot. So, for those of you in chat who have not gotten a reading yet from me today, and you would like one, I am thinking of a number between 1 through 10, and the first person to guess it can get the reading. And yeah, good night, wizard. Sweet dreams. Also, hi, wandering. I see y'all guessing. I'll let you guys know if somebody guesses it. It was not 7 or 6, so we're slowly eliminating. And you are allowed to guess multiple times. Just give everybody else at least a couple of seconds to guess before you give in your next answer. We'll see which one out of the two of you manages to guess it. It's a battle. It's a battle. Looks like it's between the two of you. It's not 2, it's not 4. Slowly eliminating the numbers. There you go. It is 5. It is, in fact, 5. Congratulations, Nitro Owl. What would you like for your reading? You both were really close. A general reading? Okie dokie. Let's see what we got for a general reading for you then, Nitro Owl. Yeah, GG. We do our tarot readings on Thursdays, so if you didn't manage to get a slot today, you're more than welcome to pop in next Thursday and try to snag a slot there. Let's see what we got for you. Okay. We got the cards. And now let's put them up on the screen for you. Starting with... And then for your last card, we've got... There we go. Alrighty, so Nitro Owl, for your general reading, in order of left to right, we have the Eight of Swords, we have the Chariot, and we have the Seven of Coins reversed. So let's go ahead and start breaking these down for you, starting with the Eight of Swords. The Eight of Swords is a card of feeling frozen in place. Usually it's out of fear of leaving a bad situation. You feel like you're stuck. You feel like you can't move, you can't get out of it. But the truth is, you can, right? It's the Eight of Swords. You have the sword in your hand. You can cut yourself free. So as scary as it is to feel like you're stuck in place, to feel like you can't get out of this, it is slightly reassuring to know that you can. As scary as it may seem, you can in fact pick up the sword and cut yourself free, right? You don't have to stay frozen and stuck in that spot. Things can get easier. And then we followed up as well with the Chariot, which again is this sense of victory, this reassurance as well. It's okay, right? It's triumph, it's willpower, it's success, it's taking everything that you've learned, all of your life experience, all of the things that you've purposefully and personally witnessed and seen, and using that to achieve greatness and to break yourself free, right? When you end and break free of what's holding you back right now, you can use that for the future to push yourself forward and to bring yourself that victory, right? So I'd say don't be afraid. As easy as it is to say, you know, it's easy enough to say don't be afraid, don't be scared. But it's true. You don't have as much to fear as I think you probably think you do. As scary as it can be to try and break yourself out of this, it's ultimately for the best to just go for it. To reach and to take it and to grab your sword and to just force yourself to move forward. because we also have this reverse 7 of coins. And while the 7 of coins is normally a card of forward motion and change and growth and the hard work that leads to that change and growth, and it's reverse, it's almost this sense of going through the motions, right? Working hard with no satisfaction. You're living your life and you're like, is this it? Is this all my life is? Is this all I have to do for the rest of my life? And the answer is no, you don't have to do that for the rest of your life. And it's scary to take the first step. But I think taking that risk is what allows you to finally pursue something that will bring you joy, right? In terms of, say, for instance, like employment. Let's say you're working a soul-sucking job. You fucking hate it. Every day you wake up and you're like, is this going to be the rest of my life? Having to work this job, having to clock in every single day to work this job. You don't have to. You can get a different job. And it's scary to think, oh my God, but what if I don't find a different job, right? Also, good night, Jacob. Sweet dreams. Thanks so much for hanging out. I super, super appreciate it. But it is a matter, I think, of taking some of that risk in order to finally break free of what's really dragging you down in order to push yourself forward. So I think it's a matter of, what's the worst that could happen? Sure, but what's the best that could happen? I think it's very easy for us to get caught up in, well, what's the worst case scenario? But also, what is the best case scenario? What if you find a different job that, doesn't make you want to fucking kill yourself every single time you clock in? What if you find the opportunity to do something that brings you joy, right? I think this is your chance to set up the stage for yourself to do something that will genuinely make you happy instead of just existing. Because it feels like right now you're kind of just existing, but you're scared to break free or to do other things because it's secure, it's stable, you should be happy, right? But you're not. And I think that's when you have to stop and think of, well, what will make me happy? What can I do? And how could I set things up to do that? Maybe it seems a little risky, but ultimately it's something that you can take into your own hands because it's your own life, right? But yeah, I hope that helps, Nitro Owl. Sometimes you gotta risk it for the biscuit a little bit. You gotta put yourself out there into, potentially slightly uncomfortable situations in order for that payoff to work, right? Like, for instance, like I said, with the job thing, if you're working at a job that you hate, well, you can start looking around to apply to different jobs that seem interesting or different, putting yourself out there. That is how I feel right now because I'm a groundskeeper for university. I want to stream more. I think you should give yourself more opportunities to build up, right? If you want to stream more, try to find times when you can stream more. Try to build yourself up so you can do things that will bring you joy, that will make you happy, right? What can you do to make things, easier for yourself? But it's also a matter of, it is a risk. But is it a risk that you think will make you happy if you take it? That's kind of what life is all about at this point, is what's going to make you satisfied with your decision. What can you do that you feel like, I did everything I could? I tried to set myself up for success. And I put in all of the effort I could into things. And I think when you think about it that way, it makes it a lot easier for you to take those other steps. Because maybe it's just a matter of you start streaming more because you feel motivated to. And then maybe things go well. And then you can, and you start making enough income that you can slowly wean yourself off of the previous job, right? That is something you could do. Or you could just simply look for a different job that makes it easier and more accommodating for you to stream more, so you still have that stable income, but from something that also brings you joy, right? I think it's just a matter of what can you do to focus on improving your life in a way that makes you happy. And when you think about, okay, how can I change this rather than should I change this, it's a lot more of a productive mindset for you. How can I change this says I'm ready to make a plan, so what should I do? Versus should I change this is should I stay the same, or should I even think about trying to do something else, right? I think that's the key thing here is how do you want to do it, right? When you shift that focus, it makes it a lot easier for you to break out of it. But yeah, I hope that helps. Nitro Owl, fingers crossed. Also, Snooey, thank you so much for grabbing your daily pillow. Welcome in. Okay. That is... that is officially all of the readings for tonight. Yay! All of the readings. Thank you for your words of encouragement, and that actually does help me out a lot more. Gives me a better mindset. Yeah. I believe in you. Yeah, when you think about what should I do, what can I do, I think it makes it a lot easier for you to start focusing on actionable things, right? When you focus on what you can actionably do, it's a lot more rewarding, right? Because let's say, for instance, you feel lost, you feel like you don't know, what to do. Take a class, pick something up, pick up a new hobby, pick up a new class, pick up something new to learn. And then, slowly and surely the time will pass, but it was already going to pass anyways, but now you're doing something actively, right? Let's say you wish you could be an artist. You wish, oh, I wish I could draw. Oh, I wish I could just do it. Well, just draw, pick up a pencil, right? You're not going to be good at it at first. Things are going to be a little awkward. You're probably going to have some sketches that you ball up and throw in the trash. And some things you look at and you're like, oh, God. But then a year passes. And then 2 years pass. And then 5 years. And then 10 years. And all of a sudden you've been drawing for 15 years. And hey, you're pretty decent at it, right? You're pretty good at it. But it's just a matter of sometimes you just have to start small and start building things up. You start with the pencil and paper and you go, let's try buying the supplies to try out some watercolor, right? Or, let's save up and let's get a drawing tablet, a digital drawing tablet, let's try that out, right? You start exploring, you start learning, you start growing. Some things stick with you, some things don't, but you take that knowledge and that experience and you move forward with something else, right? It's what are actionable things I can do? Well, actionable things could be you start looking for a different job. You start looking for something that has more flexible hours or that has better pay, that you don't need to work as long. Or, you start doing other odd jobs, sort of the case is, right? You start streaming more. You start setting up stream. You start, prepping things, learning how to set up OBS and pressing the start streaming button, whatever the case is. It's just a matter of what can you do? You can press the button. Can't guarantee that you'll blow up or become a famous sensation overnight or anything like that, but you can press the button, you can start streaming. And you can see if you like it, and you can start building on it. You can see what kind of content you want to create. You can see what kind of things you want to make, and you go from there. And then next thing you know, hey, I'm not too shabby at this. That's just how it goes, One step at a time. Baby steps. Things you can actually do. But I believe in you. You got this. And I'm cheering for you. I got my little pom-poms and I'm waving them around. Let's see. Who is live right meow? We've got... Oh, Gem Glam's playing Reverse 1999. I do like Reverse 1999. I get what you mean again. Thank you so much for like letting go of an old habit that no longer serves a purpose for you, whether good or negative, but you just tend to retain it instead of letting it go. Placing with a new hobby or new hobby that could serve me in a positive way. Yeah. Sometimes you just gotta hear an outside perspective for it to click, you know? That's all it is. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing you do is ever a waste. When you put time and effort to learn something or learn a new skill, it never goes to waste, right? Never. I mean, think about streaming. Let's say you only stream for like a week. Okay, well, now you know a lot about OBS, you know a lot about Twitch, you know a lot about, or YouTube, you know more about social skills, about, you know, trying to put yourself out there to be more entertaining. And you know what? Those social skills translate to other non-streaming social situations, right? You learn how to make friends, you learn how to start conversations, you learn how to keep yourself entertained, especially if you start with zero viewers, zero chatters, right? You got to learn how to keep yourself going, to keep yourself energized, and to entertain yourself. You learn how to find self-confidence, right? So even if you don't stick with the streaming thing, that will still give you knowledge and ability outside of streaming to invest in something else, in some other sort of social skill. Even if it's just talking to people in like a cafe or something, small talk while you're ordering a coffee, or, you know, chatting with somebody on a first date. You've got fun stories, you know how to keep things lively, right? Nothing you ever do will ever be considered a true waste unless you do nothing. When you are doing something, it is never a waste. Okay, we're gonna raid Gem Glam, who is currently playing Reverse 1999, which is a really nice, very pretty gacha game. And Gem Glam's a sweetie pie. So we're gonna raid them. And then tomorrow, I'm not sure what game I'm gonna play. I'm kind of torn, honestly. I'm thinking maybe we'll play a gay love story about gay love, but we'll see. We'll see. I have two things I'm kind of flip-flopping between. It's either a gay love story about gay love or a different like romance visual novel. Either way, it'll probably be some form of romance visual novel tomorrow. Hello, catching the end of stream, but thank you for streaming. Yeah, thanks for hanging with me. Thanks for vibing. So hopefully I will see you guys tomorrow for whatever romance-themed visual novel I decide to play. But if not, no worries. I'll see you when I see you. I hope you guys have a wonderful, wonderful night. And good night.